I am so excited you guys are here. We are live on air. We got about 1 minute before we launch on up there. Trying to get on. They're all active. So we're going to close and see if that. All right. So we got about 30 seconds before we go. So we got some really great stuff this week. Ends up occurring. So, all right. So we are here. We are live. We finally got everything up and running the way it needed to. My friends, my dears, I am Christine DeGennaro. I am a podcast host. I'm an author. I do all kinds of really great and wonderful things. However, my co-host over here, Goose, is the one who runs the whole thing. We owe this all to him. He is absolutely an amazing soul. If you are watching on YouTube or Facebook, you have a video shot of Goose just hanging out and chilling with us. He'll give us some feedback on occasion, and it's going to be fun and exciting. So we have a whole lot in store. So for those of you who don't know, Goose is a 3-year-old Peking male duck, and he was injured when he was little, so he has a handicap that keeps him as an inside duck. And we are in the middle of working to get him and his friend Luna their own beautiful and to be safe, and they can be outside where they belong. But Goose is a whole entire personality of himself. He has taught me so much about living and really embracing life and all time. So we are on a journey and a mission to share the same with everyone in our vicinity and around the world. We have listeners who are listening to us from Germany. We have people who listen to us from Australia. My friend Jenna and Jasmine are beautiful, beautiful souls who continue to give us the utmost support. So you guys are absolutely amazing and love you so much. I always love to give a good shout out. So one of the things that I know that we have really been struggling with, and I don't know if this goes for everyone else, but I know that we've been dealing with very powerful emotions lately. I know tonight is the full moon, and I've always noticed that moon cycles, I know I'm a little weird, moon cycles always have an interesting play on the way we think, the way we act, and our hormones and our body and all that stuff. So I like to, I'll just blame it on the full moon, on the new moon. So Goose and I are going to be working together on a really super special project. So I'm going to give you guys a quick announcement. We have put together we have gotten everything completely structured. We have a launch date. We are ready to roll with this. And we're really excited about this because we really feel this is something that people can use and learn and grow. And so we'll go into all that in just a little bit. We really think you guys are going to get a kick out of it because I know I have. I've had so much fun creating this thing. And we are also announcing an opening of a very special private Facebook group. So this Facebook group is going to be an accountability group. And anyone who registers on ChristineDE.com, all you have to do is put in your email and you'll get the link to join that accountability group. And that is just a place to come, set your goals, and we're gonna give you the support that you need. So if you're struggling to get things started, I would love to have you guys join the group. Hop in ChristineD.com, drop in your email address. You'll get the link to the group, and we'll go ahead and get you all started. Okay. So that was one of our super special announcements. So we have that happening. The boot camp is going to be starting in, where are we? Today's the 21st. So it would be February 4th is going to be the launch. So you have about 2 weeks. We're going to really finalize everything. Everyone who is part of this first round of it will be able to participate in all the live events. Eventually, the purpose of the program is to get it to go evergreen, but you guys is coming on and being able to interact with us. You'll be able to ask questions live. It'll be a fantastic time. So I'm really excited about that. So I think we were having issues with TikTok, which really stinks. Let us know if you guys can hear us, if there's any sound issues. We are broadcasting to Facebook. My phone is on Goose. So always let us know if you guys have any questions. Let me see if I can get it in here. I'm trying to run technology. How many of you guys like learning? That has been something that I've always identified as a lifelong learner. And so learning and taking courses and growing spiritually, emotionally has been part of my core personality. So I'm constantly learning and constantly growing and shifting and adapting to any of the challenges that we might face. And that's something that if you're struggling with anything right now, I'm going to make a quick recommendation and just take a little bit of time to set aside to learn something new, learn a new system, learn a new way of speaking, learn a new language. A new language is fun. It's on the books. There's all kinds of learn a hobby. There's all such beautiful things that you can do and you can learn, and it will really help shift your mindset especially if you're in a place of depression. depression, sadness, just kind of all the yucky feelings that go along with that. You'll be able to put your mind into something else and create something beautiful, whether for yourself or for someone else. So that is something that we did to. That's why we end up coming out with so many classes and stuff, because we enjoy putting out everything that we learn out into the world. So it might be something that you guys would find helpful too. So you guys should be able to see Goose. I know he's not really doing a whole lot of much of anything, but he is such a wonderful, gentle presence. And I love having him as my co-host. I am on getting the video up. Did you guys have any questions? I'm going to pull this up here as far as Facebook and see if there's any questions in the group. You guys can also put it in the chat. There's all kinds of ways that you guys can get a hold of us. So if you are listening on the radio broadcast, we would love to have you follow us on Facebook. You can follow us at A Duck Named Goose on Facebook. We also have a website, christinede.com, and when you register for that, we'll send you all the wonderful and useful links that will help you connect to us. So as you guys know, so I appreciate you guys coming in and learning on the fly with us. If any of the topics that you hear about, you see, you want to know more, please let us know, because we're happy to take it and run with it. So one of the things that we did want to really discuss today is Goose's story. So Goose has a really amazing story for those of you who are new, who haven't heard before, or it might give you a different outlook on him, the him that you do know. So Goose is 3 years old. He is a male Peking duck. I weighed him earlier this week, and he weighs 10.6 pounds, which is pretty big for a duck. And he's such a good boy. He's very personable. He's very much like a dog. He's got the comfort personality of a dog. And, he'll come when he's called. He runs away. He plays chase. He snuggles a little bit. He's not all like up in my lap or anything, but he'll let me kiss his little face. And he's just very loving and affectionate. And that's because he sees me as his flock mate. When he was 4 months old, we had previously bought him and his mate Maverick, Goose and Maverick from Top Gun, and ended up losing Maverick to a fox. Goose was injured in that same fox attack, and I remember that was their first night outside. We had built this enclosure set up for them, and it was, we thought it was good. It was solid. It was protected. And we had put the pair outside, Goose and Maverick outside. And earlier that day, probably around 2:00 in the afternoon, we realized that Goose was out by himself and he wasn't moving. And I wasn't there when it happened. My significant other was at the time, and we had lost Maverick. Goose was shaken. He had an injury to his wing. It was his left wing, his right leg, where he had a little bit of a limp. And when I tell you, he looked like he put up a fight. I mean, he was missing feather. Like he was in rough shape. He was terrified. And I've never had an animal be scared and just hug me. And he did. And it's heartbreaking because that it was the first night that we had put him outside. and for something that tragic and horrible to happen the first time we put him outside, that was when we made the decision that we were going to keep him inside. And it's been fun. It's a challenge and it's a lot of work, but he's such a fighter. And for him to show that spirit, to fight off a fox, to, try his best to defend his mate, even though we lost her, it just speaks to his spirit. And so for the last about 2 years, he was raised by himself with myself and my significant other as the people around him. And we were able to move him over into my place to be able to give him some freedom. He's able to go play outside. We ended up buying more ducks. You can't buy just one other duck. You always have to buy them in more. So for those of you who are not duck people, if you ever are interested in getting ducks, they will not let you buy more than or less than 2 at a time. But if you do order them online, fun fact, they send you 11 when you order 10. Something to think about. So we ordered them online. They will ship them in lower numbers than 10, but it costs more. So it was like, well, if we keep them all, we keep them all. If we didn't, so that's how we ended up with our ducks, because we wanted to give Goose a friend. We wanted to give him a companion and, friends that he can be outside with. And then we had another fox attack and we lost a couple more of our other ducks. And it was just, so owning animals is a challenge in and of itself. But Goose's story, having been the fighter that he is, and the compassionate and domesticated animal that he is, he's shown such personality that I never would have realized a duck could have. And the more you think about it, and the more you interact with animals anyway, you're able to identify their unique individual characteristics, their individual characters. But there's something so pure and just magical about being in the presence of an animal. And we were able to talk to Francesca. I'm trying to pull this up and I'm still having issues with this, guys. So I do sincerely apologize for this not working. So I'm going to go and check on that in a commercial, but that's a little bit about Goose. He has been just an absolute inspiration. He's been one of the best things. I tell my son, my mom, my partner, and my duck, and my breast cancer. Those were the 5 top most amazing things that have ever happened in my life. Were my parents and my family, my own personal journey, and my son and my partner and this duck. And I can name those off because those are the things that have created me into who I am today. So I know that you have at least top 5 things that have been the best things that have ever happened to you. And whether it's people, whether it's animals, whether it's no matter what it is, you have something in your life that's worth living for. And animals give you such life and such vibrancy that people who undergo depression, that's why they encourage emotional support animals. That's why they encourage, therapy animals, because there's a certain innocence and a certain allowance that these creatures give to us. And it's unconditional love. And it's love in its purest form for something so domesticated and defenseless to a certain degree, to be able to trust you to take care of it, to feed it regularly, to make sure it has water and comfortable. And, how much faith are you putting in as an animal to a human? And I love it. And I think it's absolutely a beautiful relationship. So I am going to pause here just for a moment. I'm going to run to a commercial. I'm going to see if I can get this video up and working for us. So that way you guys can learn everything you ever wanted to know about getting your dog certified as an emotional support dog, the importance of animals in therapy, and all that stuff. So, Hank, I will be right back on the Coffee with Christine, and thanks. So we're going to a little bit. Sorry about that. Difficulties, guys. So if you guys have any questions, what does that mean? Server execution failed. All right, I'm going to need someone who's a little more tech savvy than I am to help me out here. And I don't know if I have anyone. All right, so we're just going to make do with what we have, guys. Francesca, if you're watching, yeah, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. You know, you and I had such an amazing conversation the other day, and it was so filled with information and love and support. And, you know, it's so important that we're able to talk about this topic. So, not sure why my social media or my media is failing me right now. So let me hop on over to Goose. You guys get to watch Goose just for a moment. All right. So moving on. What we're going to do, we're going to do the best to fill this space because that was the whole show. So, okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce you guys chunk by chunk to our sponsors. So we have been very fortunate to have been sponsored by 3 amazing companies right now. First one is Apex Pheromones. Apex Pheromones is a man's pheromone cologne company. And being able to experience the power of pheromone colognes, the let's see. So yeah, my videos, I'm sorry, I see the message that popped up on Facebook, guys. So right now my video, for whatever, my video server is not connecting. So I guess when I downloaded my video to the computer, it didn't come over correctly. That's the only thing that I can think of that is happening. So, but what we'll do is we're going to keep talking. We're going to see what we can finagle in the meantime. So hopefully we will get this all back on track. So Apex Pheromones is a male pheromone cologne company, and they are at the top, hence the name Apex, of their industry. They've been in business for about 10 years, and they have mastered the art of enhancing the man in your life's presence in a way that is inspiring, that allows for romantic connection. It allows for connection and bonding. It's perfect for date nights. So if you guys are looking for him for Valentine's Day, I would love to have you guys head over to apexpheromone.com. If you go to my website, christined.com, you can just click on the link for the sponsor, and you'll be able to find all the information for all of our sponsors there. But Apex Pheromone would be perfect for that upcoming Valentine's gift. It enhances your connection, it enhances your bonding, it enhances social activities. So it's interesting. All the information is on there, but the way that our bodies interact to chemicals that are released based on emotions is absolutely amazing. We're probably going to dive into that a little bit more because there are certain pheromones and certain chemical reactions that our bodies have that help us feel better. There's a certain chemical that, for instance, babies put off that just give you a feel good emotion and high. And Apex Pheromones has been able to capitalize and almost magically create these potions that will allow you to embody whatever it is you desire in a way that just enhances what you already have naturally. It's pretty cool. They don't have a female line yet, but that's something that I know that they've expressed interest in previously. And if you let us know, we can message on if that's something that would interest you guys. If you want more information about it, again, just head to the sponsor link information and you guys will be able to find everything you need to know about Apex Pheromone. All right. And then, so our next sponsor, get this, sorry. Okay. So our next sponsor is A+ Assistance. And it's run by Kim. She has created this whole entire world of assistance that will help you with whatever administrative, digital needs that you could possibly need. So if you need your website worked on, if you need someone to create digital documents, if you need someone to take over your email and your social media accounts, Kim and her business, A+ Assistance, are going to be your go-to. And I'm really excited to be able to partner with them because I don't know if she wants everyone to know, but she has a pet duck too, and he's really super stinking cute. And to be able to meet the demand of today's digital business, online businesses, you want the best in the business. As with A+ Assistance is going to handle everything that you could possibly need on the things and probably website, and see if there's anything that you can really find help with. When it comes to self-care, we need to be able to feel comfortable with delegating. And that's one of the best things about having a virtual assistant is that you can allow someone to take that pressure off of you, especially if it's things like worksheets. If you don't like putting together Excel sheets, you can have someone do that for you. She's reasonably priced. And just one of the most amazing people on the face of the planet. I say that about everyone because I feel like it's so true. All the people that are coming into our lives are just the most amazing and beautiful souls. So we are getting... We're going to pop over onto Facebook real fast and see if there's any questions, if you guys have any comments. So let's check. So when it comes to perfect. All right. So sorry. Okay. I can't. One of my weaknesses. So here I have a hard time focusing. If you all have a note, my best to keep it streamlined. I like to have my notes. I like to have everything set up and organized. And it's very frustrating when things don't go our way. So I would love to use this opportunity for us to actually do a little bit of an exercise, if you will. if you're feeling stress, if you're feeling upset, if you're feeling overwhelmed with something, with anything, honestly, I want you to take a moment and just really be able to observe it. Right now I've got a pit in my belly because I want this show to be amazing. I want it to be perfect and I want the technology to work. And it's very frustrating when it doesn't, right? And we all encounter moments like this. The most important thing that you can do is take a moment, readjust, and just be like, okay, grand scheme of things, everything's fine, right? Goose agrees. Do you agree? Yeah. So what would you do, Mr. Goose? We're going to interview Goose here for a moment. What would you do if you were upset about something, sir? Mm-hmm. So right now, if you're watching, he's putting his head down. And what he loves to put his head down. And he usually does that when he's getting ready to nestle in. If I'm translating this correctly, Mr. Goose, you're telling me that if you were upset, if you were wound up over something, you'd take a nap. Okay. I think that's a valid response. Does anyone disagree? I think that's a very valid response to anything that is going on. Taking a nap. When we're overwhelmed, when we're stressed, we take a moment and we relax. Yeah. Okay. So we are, I know. Right. I'm going to try this. The things that Goose and I do in our camp. This is actually a great too. One of the things that we do in our boot camp, that upcoming program that we're getting ready to run, is we have a private meditation for you. And we can either hold a live class if there's enough interest, or we can make sure that you guys get a recorded meditation for the times when you're overwhelmed and things aren't going right. We'll be able to do a meditation that you can take with you anywhere and help you relax and feel just a little bit better. So that's a bonus for our upcoming 6-week program. All right. So when it comes to Goose has definitely taught us a whole lot of different ways to approach life. And one of the things that I've really noticed about him is he gets himself worked up into a frenzy every once in a while, and he gets excited and he gets, all kinds of wound up, and then he just like has an off switch. And it's like he just shuts it down and he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna go in a corner and chill and relax. It's so interesting to see that that's a coping mechanism for an animal. And I think we don't always allow ourselves the grace to do exactly that. Yeah, how many times have you found yourself getting amped up, getting worked up, getting upset, getting angry, and then just angrier and angrier and more upset by the minute? There's a really great analogy that I have thought of. I don't know if anyone else has used it. So if anyone else has used something similar, I would be very, very excited to know. So on this side, one of my jobs is driving as an Amazon driver. And life is like an Amazon an Amazon delivery route. You get so many stops throughout this journey, and you're getting guidance from the GPS all along the way. right? So as you're getting ready to, you're here, you're in the situation, and you're getting ready to move on to the next step. Well, sometimes you might run into technology issues where your phone doesn't work right, the GPS isn't working right, the recordings aren't working right, leading you to miss your turn, leading you to getting frustrated. Now you have to turn around. And it's interesting because our feelings, if you put it into a perspective of our feelings, are our on the right path. If you're getting upset, if your GPS is redirecting you every time you turn around, it's not the end of the world, but at the same time, it's alerting you that you're off track, right? The next step is just going to take a little bit longer to get to than you would normally like because of the technology malfunction, the going off road, the turning around in the wrong spot. Now you have to go around a whole complete different way. Sometimes life brings you the roundabout way because there's a part of that journey that you have to take. There's something in that journey around and back to that next destination, that next stop, that next challenge, that next goal. There's something along that detour that you need to see, that you need to experience, and that you need to take in. And then once you get to the next stop, okay, I'm here at this next goal. Now what? Now it's on to the next, right? But if you continue to stay frustrated, to go off track every single time you move on to the next stop, you're carrying all of that frustration from the previous stop with you to the next stop. As the momentum behind all that is building, you're getting more frustrated with people who are on the road with you. Like there's just a whole different way that this can go if you just decide to pull over to the side of the road, say, you know what, this is not working the way I want it to. I'm just going to take a minute. Let me rearrange my thoughts. Let me rearrange the packages. Let me just take a minute. By allowing yourself the grace to take a moment, you allow yourself to reset. You allow yourself to kind of like, okay, you know what? Not the end of the world. Give it a different perspective. And it makes it easier to journey to your next segment, to your next destination, to your next drop off, to your next goal. Let me know if that makes sense. Because I feel like that was something, as I was driving, as I was doing the delivery driving, that was something I really felt was a profound message to share with you guys, because it's the whole thing here. Everything that we're doing here in this life is all about the journey, right? You know, we're here, we're born, we have experiences, and then we move on to the next adventure, right? So when it's time for us to move on to that next adventure, are you going to be able to say, I've lived life to the absolute fullest? Did I live in fear? Feel in hate? Or did I live in hate? Did I live in love? You know, the questions are all up to you. So you are here, you are in between your goals, you're in between your next stop. What is your emotional gauge? What is your emotion meter telling you right now? Are you happy with how things are going? Are you overwhelmed? Are you upset? Are you just losing your mind? Or are you enjoying most of it? When you can take the time and recalibrate and allow yourself to enjoy it despite the wrong turns, despite the missed exits, despite the frequent turnarounds and detours. If you can enjoy it in spite of that, that makes every destination that follows that much better. You able to accomplish that one onto the next. So when it's time for us to finally make a transition, we are able to, right? Does that make sense? So our emotions are our GPS. Take that for what it is. Take that with you. That has been one of the most amazing and profound emotional tools that I have ever come across, is you identifying my emotion and using it as a GPS for where I want to be. So I hope you guys find that fascinating too. All right. I am. So we're going to try one more time and see if we work. Commenters. All right. So let us know watching. If you're visiting, make sure you're saying hi. If you're watching here on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. We are trying to go live on TikTok, but I don't think our technology is working. Yeah, no, that's not working there either. So we are going to keep rolling. So I told you all about Goose's story, and I've introduced you to two of our sponsors. So I'm really excited to introduce you to our third sponsor, who is Allie from Grateful Acres. It is a farm up in northern Delaware, and it is a non-for-profit organization. And through some absolute beautiful universe working-ish, we were able to receive a gift in her name to be able to have her represent us as a sponsor. And Allie is doing such great work. She's got beautiful animals. She's got a beautiful farm. She's allowing people of all ages and abilities to come and help her on the farm. So she's got high school students who come in. She's got people who come and visit her for coffee, which is her horses. I absolutely love it because, I mean, coffee with Goose. So Allie is just such a magical, magical person. We're so glad to have been able to connect with her. We're going to be doing a podcast coming up with her if we can figure out all this technology. So we're going to really be able to spread the love, spread the understanding of how much animals can impact us, how much they can help us attune our mindset. Tune our mindset, and allow us to live in a more easy, carefree way that is true to who we are. How does that sound, Goose? What do you think? Do you agree? Do you not? Nothing. Quiet in the peanut gallery. So we're excited because we have, due to the generosity of the sponsors, we were able to put together a boot camp. And Goose and I are going to be able to spend some time working together and helping you start living your best life in a duck mindset. And what does that mean? So we are taking 6 components of your life, and we are applying the mentality of a duck to it. So when it comes down to your lifestyle, we all have a leader. Who is your leader? Who is your flock leader? And understanding the trust and the relationship between you and your flock leader. We will be talking about how to take care of your home, and sometimes how important decluttering and getting your environment organized. I spent a few days earlier this week just clearing my desk, clearing my room, clearing the closet, and just having that momentum has propelled me into some really great stuff this week. So that's something that you guys can do and take forward too, is take on a small project. And we go all to that, and we walk you through all your resistance around it. And there's a whole lot more to this whole boot camp thing, but essentially what we do is we apply mentality. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, Goose is super awesome. He really is he's a life changer, and best thing, and we want to be able to, they say that ducks are capable of living up to 12 years. Sometimes if they're well taken care of, they live longer. But we want to be able to share Goose's message with everyone as far as being able to take care of yourself in a way that allows you to feel good, to live your purpose, find your passions, and to really feel just a little bit more in control over your mental health, and showing by going into the duck mentality. One of the key things that we show is that it's okay to take time for yourself. It's okay to do things for yourself. And we end up walking people through the feelings and expression of guilt and understanding why they feel guilty and helping you release letting it go. So that's our next big adventure, is this 6-week boot camp. So we're talking it up. We're getting everyone all excited. Part of the boot camp is that accountability group. The accountability group is a free group. So if you guys want to hop on christinede.com and sign up for it, that would be awesome. You get the link to the group. We're building the group right now. We've already got a couple people that are waiting in line to get in, and it's going to be a community of just uplifting. We'll consider people who have special products towards self-care and allowing them to promote in the group too, because I feel like the more we can encourage and grow with each other, the better. But having Goose, getting that, I've got a keyword for that. That's actually a good topic too. Having Goose has been like having anchor, and having he has been able to help me channel and focus my passion, my purpose into something bigger. And we're really excited to be able to incorporate Goose and keep his memory lasting for however long he is and past. He's very healthy, he's happy, he's good. So we're expecting him to live a long time. But one of my hesitations for even putting him in the show has been, what if something happens? However, this is where the mental work comes in, right? What am I holding back if I don't include him? And that was the question that changed everything for us, is because by asking, what can we offer? What can we do? How can we help? And have Goose be part of that is so wonderful. Absolutely. I wish I could see who's all that's showing up in here is saying Facebook user. I don't know if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, but that's what's up. So I'm not sure who's watching, but I appreciate you being here. And we really enjoy mental health topics because there's so many different layers. It's like goose feathers. They're everywhere, all shapes and sizes. There's so many different components to it, right? You've got the long feathers, which is like the long, drawn out scientific topics of mental health. You've got the little short and stubby feathers that are kind of like the quick and easy self-care routine stuff. And then you have the fluff with like going and getting your hair and nails painted. So it's like duck feathers. There's so many different components to mental health. There's always a way to tie it into the duck. We are so happy to focus on this topic because everyone faces these challenges. Everyone faces depression. Everyone faces, to some level, whether personally or they know someone who's faced addiction, depression, other mental disabilities and capabilities and traumas. And there's so much that we take on as people. And for us to be able to help even just one person, maybe we connect you with someone who is a really valuable resource for you, or we're able to provide a tool for you, or as we're building our podcast, what we're doing is we're building our network of experts. So that way we're able to refer you if you have a question on something, or you yourself heard someone speak on the program, you guys are able to connect with them. Our main goal is to connect everyone through this message of mental health being so important. Being able to do that through self-care is a challenge, because we're so conditioned as women, and this is stuff that I really like to go into in boot camp, but I don't mind sharing this stuff, is that we're programmed to nurture, we're programmed to care, we're programmed to put other people before ourselves. And there's been times where I've been made to feel guilty about putting myself first, or pursuing a passion, or doing something that someone else doesn't understand. And I turned 40 back in December, and my 30s was so my teenage years, I was doing whatever and any, and caused a lot of grief. My 20s was trying to make up for it. My 30s was trying to find that balance. My 40s, I found it. All right. There's a little tweaking having to be done, but it's doing enough for myself so I have so much more to give for others. And for me, that looks like, I'm not making millions of dollars. I'm lucky to pay my rent. I'm doing the best that I can with what I have, the skills that I have. But the one thing that I know I have is the passion to get this message out there, that you have to be happy with yourself. And if you're not happy with yourself, the people around you aren't going to be happy either. And it's a cycle that we are here to help you try to break that in whatever capacity that we can offer. Life is hard. Being a human hard. And that's why we decided to do the boot camp for humans, because if you're human, you have emotions, you have feelings, you've got things that are bothering you, you have things that overwhelm you. There's things about time management, there's things with family, there's things with your career, and we take all of that on for ourselves. We get stuck in the minutia of the day in, day out, the same routine, same this, and we forget ourselves. And if you just do one small thing for yourself a day, whether it's making sure you drink that extra glass of water in the morning, and you can take that and you can celebrate that, that is a win that you can build on. And that's the important first step. You have to make a decision to do one small thing for yourself. And when you make that shift, everything else starts to fit into place. The people in your life, the events that occur, it's very, very fascinating to see what comes in and what goes out, the ebb and the flow. And there are some days where your energy is high and you're on top of the world, and there are days where you just don't even want to get out of bed. Hello, human. Goose has those days too. It's not just humans. There have been some days where he wasn't doing anything crazy, but now all of a sudden Goose is limping. And that's one of the main reasons. Yeah, exactly. Roller coaster of emotions. We're feeling critters, we're feeling human beings, but animals take that on too. And if we can learn to tap into what the animals know about feeling good and feeling better, that helps us tremendously. And that's all the stuff that we go into in the boot camp. But that is so I'm so passionate about this because this has been what has helped me. This has been what has helped me overcome breast cancer. It's what has helped me be able to manifest the things in my life, the people in my life that are just magnificent and magical. This has been able to allow me to pursue my degrees, to write multiple books, to maintain all that and most of my sanity while I'm trying to raise my teenager, build my business, try to figure out marketing, learning courses, and continuing my master's degree. So you can't do it all without a system. And I have that system and it works. It's not perfect because we're not perfect. It works as well as you do. How's that? So that's a little bit about the boot camp. And so we talked about Mr. Goose. We talked about our sponsors. And so one of the things that I did want to cover, and I thought that this was a really cool analogy. Earlier when I was speaking about going on an Amazon delivery and viewing our lives as an Amazon delivery, right? So you are given this route, you're given this amount of stops, and you are tasked with getting from one stop to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, until your route is over. During that time, you are focusing and you're growing in a way that you don't expect, actually. So if you view your life, you are on that level to that next stop, right? Your goal right now is to level up. Your next goal is to get to that next destination. And so essentially you're starting over fresh. You put that box on the stoop, you made that delivery, and now you are getting ready to go to the next step. You're starting all over, scratch one. You got to figure out where you're going. Do you know where you're going? You have no clue. But your GPS is going to guide you. Remember, your GPS is your feelings. So what are you feeling in that moment? The freshness, the newness. Okay, completed. Yay. Okay. On to the next. Don't know what's going to come. Don't know what we're going to interact with. Right? So it's almost like you're breaking free. You're up leveling, almost like a video game. Right? That's a good analogy too. But you have to figure out what your next step is. So you just completed your task. Now you have to figure out that next step. The next step is figuring out what your next step is. You need to figure out where you're going first. Once you figure out where you're going first, you're waiting to be told how to get there by the GPS. Sometimes there's a lot happening. And you're looking over at that car that just ran a light, or the person who slammed in front of you. There's a lot that's going on between you getting from point A to feeling comfortable getting to point B. And there's a lot of change. There's a lot of growth that happens. And when you allow it to be a challenge instead of something you have to do, if you make it fun versus I don't want to move from where I'm safe. I don't want to go. I want to be done with this. You're not forcing yourself to the next level of that delivery progress, that life progress. You're keeping yourself stuck. And we do that when we're scared. When we're scared, we go back to our patterns. So if you've ever found yourself lost, we're going to start this over. If you've ever found yourself lost, whether it's on the road or in a neighborhood, or just you found yourself so completely off track. What do? You regroup and you get a fresh eye on what your next step is. You take a moment and you rest and you identify what your next step is. Okay, now you made the decision to, like, okay, this is where I'm going to go. You got to take that first step. How terrified are you that you're going to get lost again? But if you don't move, you're not going to get to your destination. What we're doing when we get stuck is we are saying, you know what? Maybe someone will come find me. Maybe someone will save me. If I stand here long enough and just let my GPS ping, maybe someone will find me. The thing is, there are people who come into your life and are like, come on, man, let's go. I got you. Let's go from here. And you're like, oh no, I can't. I'm stuck. You're not, when you make a choice to move forward, but you don't accept the help and the guidance of the people who are coming into your life, you're keeping yourself stuck. You know, one of the things that I've been talking about, I spoke about with Kira last week, and I spoke with Francesca about this week, which I'm broken. I can't get this video up. Is the fact that we all need help. We all need guidance. We all need to know that there's someone who's going to listen to us, whether it's just to vent or help us problem solve and see things in a different perspective. When we close ourselves off, and this is something that I've ended up really struggling with, which is part of the reason why I bring it up, is because as an introvert, my first reaction when I get overwhelmed is to shut down. When I get overwhelmed and I get scared, I go inward and I don't know what to do, and I keep myself stuck. I shut off everything and I stand in place. Last week, for the first time in a really long time, I made a post in one of my private Facebook groups and admitted that I was scared. You know, there's a lot of upheaval that's going on right now. There's a lot of things that are up in the air right now with my business, and exciting things, really great and exciting things. And I'm really excited. But at the same time, I'm scared. What if I'm not good enough? What if I don't have what it takes to up to this level? What if I fail? What if I listen to the voices in my head that say I'm not good enough, or that what I'm doing isn't important? Like, that's why I come on here and I broadcast this message, is because I know that you have to have this in your heart too. You have to feel this on some level or have had it. We all feel these emotions. We all have to process through stuff. But I'll tell you what, when I let them know that this is what I was afraid of, this is what I don't know what to do next, the love, the outpouring of support, the outpouring of advice and ideas and brainstorming and offers to brainstorm poured in. And I have been able, just even over the last week, have been making incredible connections with beautiful, strong, capable women who've been where I've been, who are where I am, who are struggling that I can help. And I challenge you to find someone who you can relate to, who can guide you, and who you can help. That's my challenge for you today. Because when we ask for help, when we acknowledge that we need help, that we need more guidance, that we need insight, that we can't do it alone, the people who are willing to come in because now they know that you're having a hard time, people who are willing to say, yeah, let's sit and talk for a minute. That's why I offer that. If you guys don't know, I do offer a 30-minute free consultation just for that alone. Whether you're an entrepreneur and you want to brainstorm for a few minutes, if you are a listener or you're part of one of my programs, you need to chat and vent for a few minutes. I offer that consultation, not to be taken advantage of, but to genuinely help give you the guidance and support you need. And if there's something that I know that I have that I can offer as a program, I would. But it's not ever going to be like, you need to buy my course. My stuff isn't always the answer for everyone, and I'm okay with that. The systems that I have in place work for me. I share them with people. But when you manage to ask for help, when you find people who are like-minded or are who you want to be like, there's a power in that. When you make a genuine connection to someone who you genuinely like and respect and value, there is a deepness to it that there's no words for. So if today you're feeling alone, if today you're feeling challenged, if you're feeling upset, if you're feeling that roller coaster of emotions, I want you to understand that that is your internal GPS alerting you that you've just gone off road a little bit. Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay. That's normal. And you're going to be fine. You've managed to overcome all the challenges up until this very moment. You got this. No matter what challenge you're facing right now, you got this. So let's see. Yeah, still down. Sorry, guys, about that thing because So make sure if you guys are watching, you're saying hello in the chat. If you guys are watching on the StreamYard, just click the link on the StreamYard. It should be at the bottom of the description of the podcast. And it'll allow you to watch live, and actually I'd be able to see your all's faces. It'd be nice to see faces. So yeah, I'm doing and enjoying over the next few weeks. Do you guys have? So I know Valentine's Day is coming up, so we're going to take a moment to acknowledge our sponsors because they're the ones who are making this possible. Apex Pheromone, for the man in your life. If you want to buy him a amazing new scent that will also enhance everything that he already is, go to apexpheromone.com. All you guys have to do is go to the link on my site up at the top. It should say sponsor links and information, and it'll take you to the website with all our sponsor information, their websites and all their information there. So Apex Pheromone, for the man in your life. If you want to learn more about pheromones, apexpheromone.com. If you are a business owner who is looking to delegate and take some things off of your plate when it comes to online business, whether it is content creation, whether it's social media managing, whether it's website design, SEO, optimization, everything that you could possibly need having to do with running an online business, my friend Kim and her A+ assistants are going to be able to handle anything that you need. She is absolutely wonderful, and she has a whole variety of packages that will allow you to start, if you need to start small, you just want someone to take over your social media post for a little bit and see how it goes, she can do that. If you want her to run the whole shebang, she can do that too. So she's got a great team, great people, great, absolutely amazing content and work. I highly recommend it. And then our friend Allie. Allie, I don't know if you're watching this, baby. I am going to be emailing you tonight with the Zoom link so we can set up our chat. So you know what? I'm not using Zoom anymore. So I will send you the link where I want you to go so we can do our recordings. So we're not doing Zoom anymore. Sorry, Zoom. So yeah, we are. If you are watching and you're here, make sure you say hello, hello. Goose, do you have anything to contribute? No. Okay. So I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but he has, every once in a while, he gets feathers in his nose. Let me see if I can bring him up here. I'm going to take... Okay, that didn't work the way I wanted it to. I was going to try to show you he's got a feather in his nose. Whenever he cleans himself, he preens. That's a whole other topic. That's actually a fun topic too. When they preen, they let loose feathers, and that's normal. And twice a year, ducks go through a molt. We're going to do a quick little education on ducks here. So ducks go through a molting season. Most birds do. And happens twice a year where they lose their long feathers in their wings. He usually looks a whole lot less fluffy, the poor guy, and he doesn't have that super majestic flap going on. But there are feathers everywhere because he decided that he wanted to molt. He decided he wanted to molt in the middle of winter. Feathers all over the place. I know. But he, when he's preening, he ends up getting his down feathers stuck in his nasal cavity. And every once in a while, I gotta go and pull out feathers because he doesn't think to go and dunk his head in the water to blow it out. That's a really great tip. If you ever get ducks, if you ever decide that you want and need to get a couple ducks, you always have to make sure that they have deep enough water that they can dip their bills in to clear out their nasal passages. It's very important, otherwise they get really bad respiratory infections and all that kind of stuff. We've been very fortunate, knock on wood, that we haven't had any major issues because we're always picking feather boogers. Yeah, it's fun. Don't look at me like that. He was looking at me like, Mom, you're telling all my secrets. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that's the whole point of the show, Goose. They want to get to know you too. They do. So right now, I don't know if you guys are able to tell, his coloring is just a little bit off. And that's part of the reason why he started to molt, is because the deeper yellow colors, the creamy beige color, is all feathers, and they shed like all at once. We call it art installments because I'll walk around, he'll flap his wings and feathers will fly. It's ridiculous. We vacuum 2 to 3 times a day, which is why we keep him out on the patio almost all the time as long as it's warm, and we keep them contained to a designated area by our laundry room the times where he's not directly supervised, because all the feathers. So we and that is why you have ducks outside. Highly recommend ducks outside. Yeah. House ducks are a lot of work. I'm never ever going to sugarcoat that. They are a lot of work. He is my baby. It's like having a dog, but he is a lot of work. and worth every moment, but a lot of work. So a fun fact about ducks. That's a good one. Fun fact about ducks. Ducks do not have the ability to be potty trained. So they are, let's see if that works. That didn't work the way I wanted it to. Let's try that. There we go. We can see him a little bit better. Ducks cannot be potty trained, which is why we have a sheet down for him. If we don't have the sheet down, it gets bad. That's why he's not allowed in the living room. He's not allowed in the house roaming anywhere unless we have sheets down, or he's in the kitchen, which is, it is what it is. A lot of work, bud. They cannot be potty trained. The way that their GI system is set up, they're not capable, like physically capable of retaining their bodily functions to wait for specific times or days or anything. Are you showing off? Where are you going? The goose is on the loose. So yeah, but now you if you guys are watching on the YouTube video, you can see this is why we have the sheets down. So they are high maintenance animals, but if you do it correctly, you get a system in place, as much work as they can be. So you just got to get it streamlined. It's just like anything else in life. Once you figure out a system and once you get everything in place, they are so much fun. Love them. So I told you guys about Apex. I told you guys about Kim. I told you guys about Allie and her stuff. So what we're going to do is do a quick rapid fire question answer thing on the boot camp. I do want to cover that a little bit more in depth just because that's something I'm really excited about. So Goose and I have decided to run a boot camp for humans. And as we were talking about earlier, we were explaining why we want to do it. We want to get the message out there that self-care is so important, not just for women, but for men too. And so we're doing a very inclusive program, which is why it's for humans. It's mostly geared towards women, but I don't ever want to exclude anyone based on who they are. But we do find that more women have a tendency to put themselves last. And our boot camp helps walk you through putting yourself first just a little bit without that guilt, and to help you work through the guilt, to overcome any guilt you might face and any other issues that might come up emotionally for you during the time as you practice and build on your self-care routine. And what we do is we provide accountability. Hold on one second. I have an escape artist who is not allowed. Hold on one moment for me. No. Hey, Tony, can you give me coffee? Come on. Oh. Yes, Goose. So yeah, Goose is I don't know if you guys can see, but he's a big guy. So if I'm picking him up, he's quite a beast, quite a monster. Okay, sorry about that. So, and of course, he's just going to roll off to the same. Don't you even get over here. Goose is telling me he's done. So, but our boot camp is again, it's offset of a duck, and how the duck approaches living with purpose, living with passion, living with everything without the guilt. You get to not be so overwhelmed. You get to not be so stressed. You get to feel a little bit better about yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. We find a way to help you create balance. And that's the most important thing that we can do. All right, I'm going to take him off of there. So we are really super excited about the launch on February 4th. It's going to be life-changing. We have so many people who need just a little bit of guidance. And that's what this is. We start them off with, we do a daily checking in. So for the entire 6-week camp, I review everyone's to-do list for the day and whether or not they did it. So each day there's a daily accountability. However, by the time you get to the midpoint, instead of me going on and checking and messaging them, they have to start messaging me. So we end up doing a switch on that, because what that is doing is it's encouraging you as the boot camper to start taking responsibility for the route that you created. So it's very important for you to be able to go from having someone to be accountable to being accountable for yourself. And we're happy to walk you through that, because some people just need a little bit of extra guidance and a little bit of extra accountability. I remember when I was drinking, and I don't drink anymore. I've stopped drinking. And when I was struggling with it the most, someone made me accountable to them. And that's what helped me. Like, I need to be able to check in and meet with you every single day at any given point. And I need you to not have been drinking. Done. Sometimes that's all it takes. That's what it took for me. I'm not saying with an addiction or anything, but when I was drinking at my heaviest, having someone hold me accountable every single day was the turning point in my life. And we have the capability to do that for someone else, whether it's to give up drinking, whether it's to make sure you're making your bed every day, make sure you're drinking extra water every day. We don't care how big or small, just that you're doing something and you're building on it. That's it. So over the 6 weeks, we approach everything from a duck mindset. How does a duck approach faith? How does a duck approach his home? How does a duck approach his mental health? How does he approach his physical health and wellness? And we tackle it from Goose's mentality. And I would like to think that Goose would be a little more proactive in his teaching abilities, but he's being a little lazy. Let me add him. So that is your glorious view of the Goose. Yeah. He likes wire. He is so fascinated. Goose is so fascinated with appliances. If given the chance, he will snuggle up to the lamp. He will snuggle up to the vacuum. He'll snuggle up. We have a power washer that we had in the house for like 2 or 3 days, and that's all he cuddled up with. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's funny. But he has definitely been very inspirational and very eye-opening. And I do want this to really reach people, not only farm people, not only like bird and duck people, but I want this to be relatable to all people. So when Goose and I are going to be doing the boot camp, he's going to obviously have a presence like he does here in the podcast, but I think we're also going to give him his own little segment. and where he's quacking and he's motivating you with his quacking. Just because I think that would be fun. Let me know if you guys think that would be fun. Then definitely let me know. So I have not been able to get any of my videos, any of my music. I am not able to tap into that. So I am going to turn this over to the radio station just for a few moments. I have to take a quick break and I will be right back for the Coffee with Christine and Goose show. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Oh, stop it. You stay there. A few minutes ago. I know. I'm still on. Where are you going? Okay. Why are we over here? All right. Thank you so much for waiting for us on the Coffee with Christine and Goose show. We are hanging out, relaxing, enjoying a cup of coffee. Do you guys have coffee? Do you guys have tea? I'd love to know if you guys are watching on YouTube or if you're listening on the radio broadcast. Let us know. Give us some love. We would love to hear from you. You better not put your butt on that. It's like yelling at a teenager. Don't you put your butt off that chair. He will because that's what he does best. So we were talking about camp, all the things that we're really excited for. We are going to be allowing people to come in and do the shows live. We will be hosting that exclusively in the accountability group. So all the live recordings will be in the accountability group. Once I wrap up on here, I will be putting the link to the accountability group in the Coffee with Christine show group and all over. I'll be putting it all over. So anyone who wants to come in and sign up, we're just going to need you to provide your email. So that way I can make sure we have you on our list and we'll roll right on ahead and we're going to get the group rolling. And again, it's going to be part of the boot camp, but the community itself is so important. That's where you come in and you announce your goals. That's where you tell the world, you tell us what you're hoping to accomplish. And that's where you can find an accountability buddy, or you can post your tracker for the day. That'll be a whole entire group. No. Chasing the duck around. Chasing him around. Now where'd you go? You keep your butt. Oh my God. And this is why he will only get a segment in the boot camp as opposed to doing this through the whole time. But he is such a great component and so personable and so much fun. Don't you eat that? Anyone want a duck? Duck? You want to buy a duck? I'm just joking. Oh, so did you guys hear? I thought that this was absolutely fascinating. I thought that this was absolutely intriguing. And I need to look more into it because I think it's hilarious. There are people that are renting chickens. They're renting chickens so they can get eggs. And if we're being honest, I'm really kind of mad I didn't think about that. Because if you think about it, it is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant because what you're doing is you are allowing people who would never normally even think to do the farming thing, to do the animal thing. You're allowing them to experience life caring for a critter that they know provides food for them. So it's really fascinating on a whole bunch of different levels because on one level, especially if there's kids, you're showing them that they are capable how to take care of an animal, how to raise an animal, how to tend to it, feed it, water it, and everything. And it's an animal that they wouldn't normally be exposed to. Most kids in the suburbs get, dogs and cats, hamsters, you know, more and more people are buying chickens. But if you live and you just want to get a couple egg layers, but you also don't want the full-on responsibility of owning them, renting some chickens is probably a good idea. I think it's brilliant. You can take the opportunity to start raising these animals and see how you like it. And if you don't and you hate it and it's too much work, you let your rental agreement expire. You run the course through your rental agreement, or you renew, or you decide that you want to keep them. And I think that it's fantastic because it makes a low pressure way of allowing people to make that decision by gaining that experience. And I think it's great. There is something said to fresh eggs, but fresh eggs, you go in and there's some eggs and they were not there last night, and know what food these animals are eating because you're the one who's providing them the food. And there's something to be said about homegrown food. And then there's a beautiful pride that comes along with it too, that you contributed to this. You were able to provide food for the table by caring for an animal that lives in your backyard. And I think it's so cool. But yeah, people are renting chickens, and I'm all for it. I am so completely for it. It's something that I really wish I would have thought of. Gooses, you are being so bad tonight. Why are you being so bad? Goosery. All right. So I am going to try one more time to get the video. If I can get the audio up, we'll do that. But I would love to know what everyone is doing. If you're watching on Facebook, what are you guys up to tonight? Is there anything good going on where you are? Where are you? Where are you watching from? Where are you listening from? Are you you doing? Is that paper? You are going to be the death of me, child. Get over here. Oh, good gravy. So I always try to be professional on these things because, you never know who's listening. But there's something to be said about chasing a duck. What are you doing, Goofus? Right. So in the news, this was actually kind of big news. There was recently a car crash that took the life of a gentleman that was a pretty big wrestler, Mr. Briscoe, something like that. And it was a very, very difficult, very tragic car wreck. And I do want to extend my condolences to the family, the Poe family, because they have young kids and their mom was in the car, from what I understand, and the girls are still in the hospital condition. Like, the whole family was really destroyed in this car wreck. So, I think taking that for a moment and allowing ourselves to understand, and life is precious. We're here for a moment in time. And for us to be anything but happy, for us to go through life feeling unwanted or depressed and sad, broken, and you deserve so much more. You deserve the best, and you deserve to be happy. And if we're not, then taking care of yourself is the first step. Doing something for yourself is the first step. And we want to normalize that. We're here to challenge you to be your best self, but we're also here to challenge you to accept yourself the way you are as well. There's a fine balance between acceptance and like limiting yourself. You can sit there and say, I'm absolutely beautiful and perfect just the way that I am, but I know I can do even better tomorrow. There's that balance. Jordan Peterson, and I'm paraphrasing on this, said something very similar, and I found it very, very profound, that we aren't pushing people to be the best that they can be. And by doing that, we're doing them a huge disservice. We are not encouraging people to grow. We're encouraging them to stay safe. And by staying safe, small. And I thought that was just such a beautiful sentiment. And again, that was a super paraphrase of one of the videos that I listened to of him. But it's so true. We are getting wrapped up in accolades and trophies and everyone, participation trophies. If you aren't getting to where you are on your own merit, if you aren't getting life experience, if you're being protected from the nonsense that life has to throw at you, you are not going to be capable of handling things when things really go sideways. And I promise you, I'm someone who knows how it goes sideways. And something like a health issue will put things in perspective for you. This goes back to the car accident that I was talking about, that it puts things in perspective for you. If you're not happy, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you are not pushing yourself to be just a little bit better than what you were yesterday, you're not growing, you're not thriving. and you are withholding the best version of yourself, not only from yourself, but from the world too. And the world needs people who are brave enough to tap into their magic. And I would love for that to be you. You know, are you brave enough to tap into your magic? Are you confident enough to challenge yourself? Are you willing to go all in on yourself? Are you ready to just be better and feel better? Yeah, that's what happens when you start putting mental health first. When we, as an entrepreneur, sometimes it comes easy to people and sometimes it doesn't. And it's a huge, huge growing experience. There's been so much that I know I've personally learned. The resources, you know, one of these days, I might end up doing a little workshop or something for entrepreneurs of some of the best advice pieces that I ever got, the things that were my aha moments, the pieces that created that momentum, just because, you know, if that's what I needed to make things click, then I can help you guys too with that. You know, if there's any entrepreneurs who would like just a little workshop or something on that, I would be happy to throw that together. I think I've been brainstorming on that. So I did a quiz recently and discovered a few things that really explain something. There is a personality quiz that takes into account 8 different types of your personality. And my strongest was my ability to connect with people and my desire to connect with people. And that was a moment where a lot of things shifted for me because it's, oh, well, that makes sense. Why aren't I living up to that? So I have put together a quiz. If you guys are interested in that, I'll throw a link out there at some point. Um, but understanding your strengths and understanding your weaknesses is a really great thing. One of my biggest weaknesses is one of my biggest strengths. I am super creative. I love tapping into, ooh, this would be fun, and running with it and then tweaking it and making it happen again and doing it again and jumping to the next project and then jumping to the next project and then coming over here. And there's something fulfilling about creating. And when you're able to tap into your own natural given passions and talents, that is something so rewarding. So I encourage you. There's been a few little assignments I've given you guys tonight over the course of this. One was make sure you take a moment and step back and breathe. The other was to make sure that you find mentors, right? And then this is making sure that you acknowledge your strengths and you acknowledge your weaknesses. And if you're not tapping into your natural God-given talents, if you're not fueling what fills you with fire and passion, then that is a whole side of you that you're keeping from the world. And I don't know about you, but I would love to see more of that. I love seeing people step fully into themselves. That has been one of the best things about what I've been doing is the transformations from the girls that I have worked with. And to know that they have gone from upset and sad and depressed to be able to go and live adventures and go on trail rides and, you know, go out in public when she was absolutely terrified to break free and COVID scared people. And, you know, one of my girls faced a legitimate fear of going out in public and getting sick. And she has done so magically getting over that. And I'm so proud of her, and there's little things that you can do to build up for yourself. But if you need help, you need to find an accountability buddy, or you can always reach out to us and we can talk. But being able to understand where your weakness lies and how you can build it is a whole undertone of magic that not everyone can do. So strong are the ones who are able to tap into their weaknesses and build them. And I would love to see you do that too. Topics tonight, but also light and fun. I think that we are really enjoying I'm enjoying this, I feel bad that we didn't make it to the TikTok, but this is a lot of fun. So questions, comments, concerns. I'm going to go over here and check Facebook real fast. Let's see. Try to get that to play. I know I keep pressing the play button thinking that maybe, just maybe. And it's not. Oh. So I told you about Goose. I told you about our sponsors. Reel to Reel Broadcasting. Let's talk about them. So these are the people, Debbie and Ron, who have invited me to broadcast this show over their radio network. And I am so excited to have been given the chance to be able to do this. And I have so much fun doing this, even when things aren't going right with the technology. This is such a fun and meaningful expression, and I am loving every minute of this. And I want to give a shout out to Debbie and Ron for Reel to Reel Broadcasting and allowing us to come over their airwaves and share our message and share Goose. Goose has been fundamental to my mental health and my growth of my business and my entrepreneurship. And, as crazy as he drives me, he also keeps me pretty sane. And I don't know what my life would look like without him, or Debbie and Ron for giving me this opportunity. There's been a lot that has blossomed within me because of this opportunity. And it is set some things in motion that I'm really super excited about. So we are building every single day. We're working on the broadcast. We're going to get this whole broadcasting thing a little more streamlined. Each time we're doing a little bit better. Next week, we're going to get Francesca's interview up because it is absolutely important. I will actually post this to the I'll try to post that recording to the Coffee with Christine show on its own, so you guys can see it as soon as I can get it figured out why it didn't transfer over correctly. From here on out, I will be using StreamYard, the same platform that I'm using right now. I will be using to record all of my interviews, everything like that, because this is one of the best platforms I've ever used. If you've never used it before, I highly recommend it. I pay for it, and it's worth the $25 a month that I pay for it. I am not sponsored by them, but I highly recommend them, and I will always make sure that you guys know that if I find something I like, you guys are going to know about it too. I don't know if you guys knew this. I did a book, Courting the Universe. It has been out since probably April or May of last year, and sales are going up. And I'm so thankful for everyone who's been buying and sharing and liking the book. Make sure you guys, if you are purchasing them from Amazon, make sure you're dropping a review for me on Amazon, or you can just message me with any comments or anything. It's not beautiful. It's not perfect. I did it entirely myself, from designing the cover to editing and writing and formatting and everything. It was all. And the really amazing thing is that's the power of putting your best self forward. Is you are able to create a project that gets your message out to the world in different forms. And you guys are capable of this too. But if you guys want to buy my book, Courting the Universe, it's all about manifesting the life that you crave. So 6 steps, treating the universe like a lover and manifest the life you deserve in 6 easy steps. And then I have planners and all kinds of stuff. My Sacred Life, that was a good question. Thank you. Sacred Life List Journal. It's big and it's chunky, but it's got workbook pages and everything in it. Budget sheets. You guys can't really see, sorry. Budget sheets, worksheets, and it helps you set your goals and breaks everything. This is actually the exact list that I used, and I use it for years. I use a notebook now just because I know the system, but I created a journal and a workbook and a couple agendas, like a 6-month agenda, a 1-year agenda. So that way you guys can, have access to it and be able to put into motion my Sacred Life list. That is pretty much what we're going to be teaching in Goose's 6-week boot camp, is the Sacred Life list through the mindset of a duck. So it's the same structure, it's the same basis, but the information is going to be different, and it's going to be all duck related. So the boot camp is going to be fun, but it goes back to the fundamentals that I always go back to when I come to teaching any of my coaching stuff. Courting the Universe and Sacred Life List Method are my books. I do have 2 in progress. I've got Introvert's Guide to Living with Passion and Living with Passion Duck Style. So we are all about passion. We're all about purpose. We're all about living to be your best self. And it all starts with taking care of you. As much as we don't want to hear it, and as much as we feel yucky about it, sometimes people push back when I tell them, are you doing something for yourself? Well, I don't have time. That's my favorite excuse, is I don't have time. Really? I know something you don't. If you think you don't have time now, the universe is going to find a way to slow you down so you do. Guaranteed. That is a secret that I wish everyone knew. If you are not taking time, if you come to me with the excuse or the reason or the validation that I don't do self-care because I do not have the time, when you're finding yourself in the doctor's office for hours and hours and hours at a time because you didn't take care of yourself, not regret. You're not going to regret it, but you're going to be like, oh, I see what you're doing there, universe. I see what you're doing there, God. I see what you're doing, my almighty power. I see it. You made me slow down. You made me focus on myself for a little while, longer than I want to. But the universe and God, whatever it is you believe in, if you believe in anything, it will find a way to tell you to slow down and take care of yourself. Have you ever, this is one of my favorite ones too, is that have you ever been late for work or late to a friend's house, late for church, late for whatever, picking kids up, and you hit every single light on the way there, and you get behind every single slow driver. You get held behind the slowest tractor trailer on the entire planet when you're in a rush. That is the universe. That is your God source power telling you to chill out, telling you to slow down, telling you to take it easy. It's going to be okay. And I believe that entirely and firmly because it happens more often than I'd like. And it usually only takes me a few seconds now to realize, okay, all right, I need to chill out. Because this all goes back to the Amazon delivery route that I took you guys on in my head. You know, you arrive to the pickup, you get there, you get to your first stop, it goes okay. The second stop, you're kind of getting lost a little bit. You're getting more and more lost with each step along the way, and you're getting frustrated. And the more you get frustrated, the more everything seems to work against you, right? That's the universe telling you to chill out. And if you don't believe in the universe, then that's okay. I'm telling you to chill out. If you ever find yourself in a situation where things are not going the way you want them to, where things are emotional in a way that you don't feel good about, if you're angry, you're upset, you're frustrated, you're sad, you're lonely, you are going to just need to take a step and reassess. The more you do that, the more practice you get, and the earlier on before you're upset, you can catch yourself. And it takes practice. I'm not going to lie. I've been doing this. I've been working on my energetic health for about 8 to 10 years. And I'm nowhere near the master manifester that I want to be. But I'll tell you what, when all the chips are down, everything is on the table, when I'm all in, the universe, my source power, always comes through in a way that I never expect. And faith is having something, just even one big thing to believe in, is going to help you guys change the course of your life. Read the book. It'll help you figure out how to manifest things nice and easy and slow, and starting small and starting fun and building up into the bigger things, because ultimately that's what we want when it comes to manifesting. When it comes to life, we just want to be happy. We want to be loved. We want to be accepted. But above all, we want to be happy, right? And this is how you do it. I don't know if you guys can hear, but Goose is snoring. Bring you guys over to Goose. I'm trying different. Oh, no. All right, I'm going to take me out of the picture just for 1 second so you guys get an image of a sleeping goose. Okay. But yeah, he's snoring. I love him so much. So that has been the show. It's been quite a roller coaster. Normally, I feel like I'm a little more prepared. This time did not work, but you do what you can. You adapt and overcome. That was my favorite phrase in the military: adapt and overcome. It's all about being able to just do the best you can in anything that you're doing. Life isn't always easy. It doesn't always go the way we want it to. But we are so excited to be able to be here, share our message. Again, thank you to Debbie and Ron for giving us the opportunity to put the show on air. Thank you so much for, reaching out and connecting with us. And, we're really excited to get the ball really rolling on this, get this even more streamlined and professional, and, having fun with it. So we're building every single day. We're building up towards some really amazing things, both in our personal lives and our businesses. So I'm super psyched. The boot camp. Make sure you guys sign up for the boot camp. So right now we're running a special pricing on the boot camp. The boot camp is going to be $333 a month for 3 months, or pay in full for $999. Now, that price does go up. One of the things that I've heard a lot of issues with, that seems really expensive. And it does. And I get it. I totally get it, because I've cringed at pricing like that too. Your life is going to change from this. You are going to be a better person. You are going to have a better support system. You are going to have a better life. And if you don't think you're worth $330 a month, you might want to think about that, because I really honestly truly know that this system, the boot camp, is gonna help your mindset. And if you really are in a point where you want help and you need the help, but the price is the thing that's scaring you, I want you to jump on a consultation call with me. I really do, because we'll figure something out. Okay. You need help. I'm here to do that. Goose is here to motivate you. And we are getting ready to head on out for the evening. So I want to leave you with this thought. Go and be the most amazing person and amazing soul that you know you can be. Goose and I are always here. We are always available to encourage you, to uplift you, and to provide you the love and the support that you know that you need. Okay? I hope you guys go and have a wonderful, amazing evening. I appreciate your love, your support, your encouragement for us as we're going through this journey together. And having you guys in my corner is nothing short of magic. I hope you go and live today and every day with the utmost of passion. Thanks for watching. To the Coffee with Christine show. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. You guys are getting a sneak peek. Let me turn this off. You guys have been getting a sneak peek over here on the Facebook thing. We are I'm going off the air for reel to reel broadcasting, just because 3 hours straight is just a little too much when there's nothing to break it up. I don't know what's going on with the audio, and that's sad. So we'll get there. Initially, I thought it was because I had any systems running, but it wasn't. I honestly have no idea. I keep getting a message saying, let's see. It keeps saying like server error or something. So I just, no more Zoom. Francesca, if you're here and you've been watching too, we're gonna get our interview up on its own different thing. It breaks my heart that we weren't able to incorporate that, because there was such amazing content to really be able to roll off of tonight that I wanted to put out there. A server execution failed. I don't know what that means. So Ron and I enjoyed it. Oh, thank you guys. You guys keep telling me that, and I feel like I'm floundering through. But we're excited. This is it. This is what we enjoy doing. So we'll, yeah, I am hopefully, I'm going to have a little more time next week to be able to get these systems up and updated because server execution fail. I don't know. I don't know what that. So, but it'll be fine. Always so. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one who tuned in, who watched, who interacted. We completely weren't able to get on TikTok, which again breaks my heart because we usually have a lot of really great people and everything on TikTok too. So, you know, it is what it is. All right. Well, thanks for all watching. Go and live with passion, guys. Thanks so much. Good night.